So I was dancing to the intro. I ain't heard that intro in a long time.
Yeah. Had to get my little swerve on, because it's been a minute.
Yes. Hey y'all. Welcome back to another edition of Old School versus New School. We've been missing action. We've been playing hooky.
No, TheeEnicole went and got rich on us, and she didn't want to come back. She forgetting about the little people.
Fake news. Fake news. Fake news.
Oh my God. How you been?
How are you today?
I'm good. I feel energetic, excited to be back. I'm going to get into this topic. It's a very interesting one.
Yes.
So, I'm testing out my new phone here. I got this brand new phone. I want to give it some tests here.
I was wondering because you look a little more clear. You know, different little angle.
Yeah.
Welcome to the age of technology.
Yeah, this is that Samsung S23 Ultra.
I know. I'm Galaxy for life over here. I don't never want an iPhone.
Yeah. So I'm Samsung for life too. So, but yeah, I got this joint. I'm using to see how I look. Apparently, according to you, I look pretty good. So I used it the other day.
It's crisp and clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many cameras you got?
Well, I usually use this camera. 5. You got 5
on the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, it's about that. Yep. There's a lot of different cameras on. It's crazy, So I'm still learning the phone. I only had it a few weeks. So I'm still trying to learn the ins and outs of it. It does a lot,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, speaking of today's topic, I was scrolling the other day on Facebook, and I'm hardly ever over there anymore.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Right.
And I just really don't scroll too much anymore anyway. Like, I post my business stuff and I get on off of there. But I just was happened to be scrolling and I came across a post from my cousin. She is a teacher, right?
Let
me pull up that post because I want to read it. Now, I'm not going to give out any names because we do want to keep the identity of the students anonymous. You know what I'm saying? They are students. So we don't want to exploit anybody or anything like that. But the topic is very interesting.
Very much indeed. The question is, why are they giving these responses? What's the thought process? The emotions behind it, the environmental circumstances. I mean, what's behind these responses? That's the question.
Right. So the post was story time. I gave my students a short-term and long-term goal assignment. Student A puts his ultimate goal is to live till 50. And student B says his ultimate goal is to have enough money to pay child support in case he gets a divorce. And she just said the mind state of our children, And I thought that was very important to talk about because I feel just being a kid and I feeling like nobody heard my voice and being grown now and that being something that's so important to me, I was like, we must talk about this. Like we have to talk about this.
Yeah. This child support thing. I mean, for him to say that was a young man saying that just, so he can make enough money just to pay child support.
I'm assuming.
I'm assuming it's a young man saying.
I'm gonna read some of the answers a little later, so we might get to that on the list. But I'm assuming that was a young man.
But see, that's a product, a clear product of his environment, what he sees discussed in his household. And the obstacles he's going to see ahead because he probably hear that in his household all the time. I'll get him for child support. I'll get him for child support. Hit him in his pockets. Blah blah blah. I've heard those conversations. If you want to really hurt somebody, hit him in their pocket. And blah blah blah. So he's probably hearing that, and it's instilled some fear in him to say, well, if I have children, I got to do this and that to prepare to be attacked by not just the mother of my children, but by a system that don't care about me as well, that she can use as a weapon against me, because the child support system doesn't care. They're making money. For them, it's about the money. Follow the dollar. You know, they got interest rates on that money. They got late fees. They got processing fees on that money. All these things go to the child support payment. It's not about these children. And I think people have to really consider this before they go and get the system involved in their lives. And many people don't. They use it as a mode for revenge. You know, oh, he cheated on me, so I'm gonna put him on child support. Oh, his new girlfriend is cuter than me, so I'm gonna put him on child support. And you know, these kind of excuses is really no reason. If he's a good father, you don't need the system. Stop using that for revenge.
Well, before we go too in depth on the answers,
I'm sorry, that's my passion.
Alex went all the way in, okay?
I'm sorry.
Before we go in, because we're going to revisit it, of course, when we go through all the answers that I've collected. But first, I want to introduce my cousin, the beautiful teacher that came up with the assignment, so we can kind of get in her head and see why and what were her thoughts and feelings. So let's bring her on in. Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, she rocked rough and stuff with her Afro puffs. Rage. Looking good there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
So can you just tell the people a little bit about who you are, how long you've been teaching and stuff like that before we get into the assignment?
Absolutely. So my name is Chastity. I'm from Jersey originally, but I teach out in Chester, Pennsylvania, which is like 15 minutes south of Philadelphia, like literally right outside of Philly. I've been teaching a little over 5 years. Prior to coming to Chester, I was in Camden. Now I've been in Chester about 4 years. The reason why I prefer to work in cities like Chester and Camden is because being that I'm African American, I want our kids to see people like themselves teaching them and giving them the experience and information and education and pushing them and encouraging them in the classroom, because we don't have enough of us in the classroom to support them and push them and show them that we do care, that we're here for them. So that's what really pushed me into going into education.
So y'all know she's related to me by blood. Hearing that answer, okay? Because yes, I think that's very commendable, and I just had to have you on because I thought now I feel like I've had assignments like this in school when I was in school, but I feel like when we got these assignments, we made up answers to sound good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it was an assignment. You kind of like made these fairy tale fluff type of answers. And when I was reading your students' answers, it was like night and day.
So to give you a little piggyback on how the assignment came about. So I teach marketing and financial literacy. And when we get on this subject about the financial literacy part, I always ask them, what are your goals and aspirations? And I teach about short-term and long-term goals. What is the difference? Short-term, you could do something like that in a year. Long-term is going to take some time. And then, of course, your ultimate goal. I also make my students create vision boards as well. Every year, every semester, we also do vision boards because my students need to see, hey, I need to see this stuff take place really in action. Like I want to come back and see on my vision board, I completed X, Y, and Z. So I tell my students up front, I want you a complete, honest answer. Tell me what your short-term goal is. I don't care if it's getting your license. I don't care if it's getting off of probation. That's your goal. Again, I know the demographics I work in. I want them to be straightforward and know that they can trust me. So that's how the assignment came about, and that's how you guys were able to see some of the responses that they gave.
Okay. Before we get into some of these answers, Alex, do you have any questions or anything?
Well, what are the ages of your students, Chastity?
So I work in high school, ranging from 13. The oldest I have is 19. Again, that's because we have a broken system where our students, unfortunately, are held back or don't complete school at a certain time frame. And so, yeah, that's the age group I teach, 13 to 19.
What's the demographic? Would this be considered inner city or what?
Yes, it's inner city. I have mostly, I want to say like a good 90% are African American and the rest is Hispanic.
Okay. All right. Now, you yourself as the teacher, looking at some of these answers and reading some of these answers, honestly, what did you feel? Did you feel dejected, deflated, inspired? What did you feel by these answers?
It's a good question. So truthfully, it really was some of the answers, like Nicole was saying, how I put it on social media about student
your own family.
But,
you can't forget to eat, cuz they gonna be like, your cousin kind of her day.
Nicole, my bad. Had stated how I post on social media about student A and student B. When I read those two, I was kind of caught off guard. Like, wait, what? Like, you just want to live past 50? And then the other one was about child support. So it threw me off. So with student A, I pulled them to the side because I just like, you know what? Something's not right. Like, I understand the environment that they live in, because in the matter of the environment itself, that is a respectful statement. I mean, a statement answer, because you have a lot of students that see shootings every day, who's got drug dealers on the corner, who can't walk on certain streets when they're walking to school, who can't go to their grandmama's house because that street is beefing with that street, or that neighborhood is beefing with that neighborhood. So his answer was, honestly, I understood it, but I just wanted to be like, is that all you want? So I spoke with him actually afterwards, after I had posted that statement, and I said, are you sure that's all you want, is to live past 50? And he did explain to me is that what he meant by was, I want to retire at 50. And I was like, okay. He was like, because I got a family to take care of. And I was like, okay, well, what do you mean you got a family to take care of? He said, well, if I have kids, my kids might have kids, and I got to take care of their kids and their kids. And I said, well, that shouldn't not just be an answer as well. Why are you taking care of your kids' kids? Why your kids should be taking care of their kids? He said, yeah, but I'm the grandfather, and that's how it's supposed to be. And I said, again, that's their mindset, because they're so used to the grandkids, their kids passing their kids on to the grandparents.
Right.
That's the grandparents' responsibility. And that shouldn't be a thing either, because again, the grandparents are tired. They had kids, the kids are grown. You decided to be grown. You got your own kids. They should be taking care of the kids. So again, it's a repetitive cycle. So I had to break down to him again, that's not your responsibility. That's not something that, I mean, I'm happy that you are thinking about your grandkids. However, you shouldn't want to feel like you prepared. You should be preparing yourself to prepare your kids for the better future of taking their own responsibilities.
And this may be, Chastity, I talk about this all the time with TheeEnicole, and this may be a different show, but his thinking is not all the way wrong. It just needs to be shifted somewhat.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what he's trying to say is he wants to establish some generational wealth. The question is, how does he go about that? Does he have any mentorship? Who's going to teach him financial literacy? Who's going to teach him about investing and building trust and stocks and real estate? Because when you start doing those things, which anybody can do, okay, no matter what your demographic, when you start doing those things, then you can set up things for your kids and your grandkids and generations to come, even when you're no longer here.
Oh, absolutely.
So his thinking is not wrong. it's just a little warped because of his environment, and he has nobody to teach him and guide him in a direction to where he needs to worry about the grandkids and how he's going to worry about them, things of that nature.
Well, like I said, I do teach financial literacy, so that's part of the thing of encouraging them and teaching them. Like this this quarter, I'm going to be teaching about investing stocks, about real estate. We already talked about
Excellent.
principles of money, how to start saving, a different savings account. So we did the basics. However, again, they got to learn to put in the work.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of the students I deal with. They're so quick to shut down because they're worrying about what's on social media, or, again, their home situations, or the fact that they don't feel comfortable. So again, they automatically shut down and they just not focus on the information that's being provided to them. Or they feel like they don't have an interest because, they're not getting that right now. It's not in their hand. That money is not in their hand, so they feel like it's irrelevant to them.
Yeah, we got to make them understand, and this has never failed. That fast money, that fast life ends fast. Okay, this is undefeated. Okay, if you're not taking off the planet, you're behind bars for extended periods of time, living that fast money, fast life. Huh?
That's a whole nother topic.
Whole nother topic. So we have to really teach this financial literacy, because when they say things like this, they need to understand there are alternatives and options. You don't have to be a rapper. It's not the only way out. You don't have to learn how to bounce a basketball. It's not the only way out, or throw a football, or be a boxer. You just have to educate yourself. We have to make reading sexy again. Reading's not sexy. What's sexy now is going up and down TikTok and Instagram, and everybody's attention spans are so short. Okay, but if we make reading sexy again, YouTube University, send some educational videos to them that are entertaining but get the message across. And I think you change one or two people, it's infectious. Those two will change two more. Then you got 4, 8, 12, and that's how it will happen. And we have to believe in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, because I mean, it's so sad to see our kids and their mindsets, like you said about the whole TikTok. I can honestly say this on the public record, so I mean, it won't hurt me by me saying this. Our kids now in this generation are performing way below the grade level that they should be reading at. And then, like I said, in the district I work in, we're way below the average student grade level, math wise and reading wise. So we trying to play catch up on that, because I won't even say prior to C19 and everything. This is way before that. So we still playing catch up, because C19 messed a bunch of our kids up overall. It just made it worse. So
did you know?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did you know that in China, they don't even allow their children to watch the same content on TikTok that we watch here? And it was created in China. Okay, but they will not allow their children to watch the same content. They send that stuff over here so we could stay dumb, while they're being smarter, more enlightened, more educated. Because in China, their TikTok is mathematical equations, all these different kind of things, historical context, all these things, while we're watching over here booty bopping and this and that kind of nonsense. So the creators of TikTok understand the damages that can be done, but because so much money's being made, they're not going to stop that.
Oh, absolutely. I know that. But again, with the generations, what these kids see, they want to gravitate. They are so used to all the videos. They see the people on social media making money, Instagram models. That's
right.
the thing. Prime example, I was having a conversation and a debate with my older students. We was talking about the sports and entertainment industry, right? And how the one young man we were talking about sports and how male athletes make more money than females. And the girls felt offended and everything. And they was like, the only way we can make money is by showing off our body. And again, it's just the concept of how society has portrayed this to them. Just showing off their body by doing videos. I can make money off of TikTok. I can be a vlogger. I can be this. I can be that. And I'm like, but y'all have more than that, than just your body and your beauty. You know what I mean? Y'all have brains.
And look what they put themselves through. I mean, I'm sure y'all heard of Black China, right? The young lady Black China. She's been in the news lately because she apparently got baptized. She's seeking God. She closed down her OnlyFans page. She closed that down. She's trying to totally cleanse her life and turn her life around because I think she realized some things that weren't fulfilling her. Okay, all these things, whether it's the money, the cars, the materials, and whatever, she wasn't being fulfilled, and she was being damaged, and she was miserable. And now she's trying to change her life around and seek a higher spiritual calling than all this other nonsense that we get caught up in.
Absolutely. I wish, and I pray for this sister to become a motivational speaker now. You know, how she did a whole 360, because we need more females and role models such as her to show, like, I turned my life around. Like, there's other ways and other options that you can go through to make your life better. Like, you don't always have to show off your body and whatnot. And it's unfortunate that this is what the reality of these kids see.
Right. You got anything, TheeEnicole? What are you thinking over there in that pretty little brain of yours?
I don't know how we got here, but I don't have anything to say about China right now. We'll see how long this lasts.
Well, in general, I'm not just about China, but in general.
I don't know. I'm more excited to see what the students actually had to say instead of the conjecture, because they had some answers that I think I would very much so like to read. Because
you can't read them. Why can't you read them? Why can't you read them?
I was waiting for you, sir.
Okay.
Because the beginning of this show, I guess we have been pushing Alex buttons today. Because
I'm getting flashbacks.
Hey, sister. Yes. Hey, sister. Yes, Alex is very passionate today. Okay.
Right.
First day back on the job. Passion. Okay. So, cuz you're more than welcome to stay, but if you have to get out of here, we do understand, because we know you had a long day at work, child.
Oh no, y'all are fine. This is very interesting. So I'm enjoying myself. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I'm not going to read the students' names, you guys, because we want to keep the what you want to call it?
Anonymity.
Yeah, we want to protect the students, so we're not going to say their names. We're just going to tell you what gender they are. So the first answers we have are from a male student. His short-term goals are, number 1 is wardrobe. He says it's a short-term goal because it may be more added or less taken away. 2, saving up. I will be buying a car in the future. 3, the job I'm working at. After I save up, I may try to start looking for a new job. 4, living at home. I will move out in the future. 5, money. I want to save up for my car. So those are his short-term goals, which car is very important to him. Long-term goals, making money. In order for me to keep living, I need to make money. Working. In order to make money, I need to work until I can't anymore. 3, having plans and backup plans for your life. Not having a plan B is bad for life. 4, achieving my goals. If I don't, who will? 5, being a good person. So it seems like he is very money driven. Like, there's no, it's like, get to the money and what else? Now,
we're going to have to instill some patience in him, because I definitely understand the money aspect. We live in a capitalistic society, point blank, period. But what we have to get him to understand is that at his age, if he has just a little bit of patience, if he's a 15-year-old kid or a 16-year-old kid, if he has a little bit of patience and some financial literacy, by him investing that money in the stock market, some crypto, some real estate, these different diversification of funds. By the time he's 30 years old, he'll be well off just by making his money work. See, he said, I need to work until I can't work no more. And okay, we have to learn to retire young to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Okay, that means our money has to work for us, not us work for it. We got to change the mindset. Okay, and only way to get your money to work for you is to put it somewhere where it's going to grow overnight while you're sleeping every day.
Okay, the next student is a female. Her short-term goals is 1, learn how to cook. 2, getting my grades up. 3, focus on myself more. 4, spending more time with my family. 5, getting my work done on time. Her long-term goals are getting accepted into college. 2, giving her driver's permit by next year. 3, gaining new skills. 4, going somewhere new. 5, making sure that she has better mental health. So hers are more personal. Now, I don't want to get hung up on each student. I want to go through all the students first. And then I'm kind of writing like their main idea of their list. And then we can go back to see how different they are.
Well, number 1 should be your short-term goal too. Her number 1 should be your number 1.
No, it shouldn't, because I know how to cook. Very well, actually.
Okay.
Now, maybe number 3, focus more on myself. Because I'm always focused on other people. And that, that's not very good. That's not good. They teach you to put everybody first, but how can you be there for other people if you don't put yourself first? So that is a lesson that I am learning. And it's crazy what they teach you opposed to what goes on in real life. Our next student is a boy. His number 1 is make 1K this year. Probably my first job paycheck. He says 2, graduate just a few more months. 3, get on a roll this April, hopefully. 4, get back in shape 2 to 4 months. 5, fixing my sleep schedule whenever. Long-term goal, make 100K, few years for sure. 2, reach my top physique next summer. 3, own some property, most likely after college. 4, to have $1 million net worth by 32. And 5, earn my degree 4 or more years.
I like that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So his is a combination of 1 and 2, which is money and self-wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So let me write that down. Okay, our next student is also a boy. Hold on. Their number 1 is get a summer job. Number 2, get the new PS5 controller. 3, pass all my classes. 4, go home. 5, go to sleep. Long-term goals, go to college. 2, get a car. 3, become a game designer. 5, get married. 4, get married. 5, have children. And his ultimate goal was to live until he was 50. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what to say about that one. But it seems like even though it's kind of all over the place, that he knows that even though he plays games a lot, he want to make money from his passion, which I think is smart. Because I feel like schools push you to, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, everybody not built for college. Me personally, I was not, because I don't want to be in school. So I pick trades. Like everything I do, I am licensed to do, like medical massage therapy, cosmetology. But those are trades. Those are not 4 or 5 years of college. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like they make you feel like you a little more or less of a person if you don't go to college.
Mm.
Like, did you go to college? Like, no, I didn't. But most millionaires didn't even graduate high school.
No, and Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard. So, you don't have to go to college to become a multimillionaire and even a billionaire. You don't. You need financial education, financial literacy. That's what you need.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another boy. And his number one short-term goal is learn how to drive. 2, buy a car. 3, get a job. 4, work on my sports skills. And 5, playing football this year. Long-term goals, getting a well-paying job, get a credit card and build good credit, become a real estate agent, pay off all my credit, own a real estate business. And his ultimate goal is to become a successful Black business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I like his train of thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that too. He's talking about real estate and being a business owner.
Yeah. Working for himself, not the next person. So I think that is good.
Did y'all know that Domino's Pizza, McDonald's, places like that, those are actually real estate businesses masquerading as fast food restaurants?
Which means
you see all the locations? That's real estate.
It's real estate. It's not so you buy the property and that's how they make money off of that, buying the property. That's why I made the kids, only reason I know that because I made my students watch the McDonald's movie about how he brought over McDonald's from the family itself. He brought the company because he brought the land. The company was on the land, and that's how he owned McDonald's and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real estate company.
That's it.
It's a monopoly. That's how they.
Right.
We got a little deeper into it, but yeah, that's how those companies. A lot of those companies started because it's a real estate company.
Yep.
Great topic for another show because I want to get into that a little further. Because I don't think people even pay attention to stuff like this. With everything going on in the world, like nobody's sitting there having conversations. Well, our people, I feel, are not having these conversations.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. So I definitely want to delve into that a little more. So our next person is another boy. And his short-term goal is saving money, number 1. Number 2, taking up a new hobby. 3, pursuing career ambitions. 4, spending more time with family. 5, eating a better diet. Long-term goal, find a career you love. 2, buy a house. 3, save enough to retire. 4, finding a life partner. And 5, fund my children's education. And his ultimate goal was to have enough money to pay child support in case he get a divorce. So even within the whole list and seeing what his ultimate goal is, I think it's everything that you said, Alex, which is he's really seeing some stuff at home that he don't want to deal with when he get older. Which even though when I first saw the initial post that you had posted, cuz I was like, oh my God, like what are these kids thinking? Now, like reading other answers and talking through a lot of stuff, I think that it is, even though we don't want that to be our kids' ultimate goal, I think that it's proactive of him to make that a goal that he does not want to deal with when he gets older. Like, no, you shouldn't prepare for a divorce, or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want that to be walking into it like this is going to fail, so I need to have a proof plan. You know what I mean? But it's sad that that's on his mind rather than I want to meet a better partner so that I know I can end my life with this partner that I chose.
He's not seeing successful marriages, TheeEnicole. He's not seeing them in his environment.
Yeah.
He's not seeing them.
But since he's not, I think it's commendable that he's like, well, I need to do this then so that I don't end up like this.
Yeah. Because we make divorce sexy. Divorce is sexy. You know, look at the reality shows we cover, TheeEnicole. Look at some of these shows. They have divorce parties. Okay. I'm single again parties. You know, like it's a big thing. Somebody could congratulate you for being divorced and having your family destroyed. You celebrate this. Okay. You drive down the highway and you look at billboards, divorce, $99. Nobody's promoting marriage on billboards and you drive up and down the highway. So it's not the same today.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Okay, we're just about done. We got two more. This next one is a female. Her short-term goal is pass civics, 2, graduate, 3, wake up on the right side every morning, 4, build a morning routine, 5, explore something new. Long-term goals are to work on her attitude, stop eating junk, volunteering, take challenging classes, and advance her career and become a leader in her field. And her ultimate goal is to promote healthy growth and development and make money.
And what is her field? She didn't say.
No, she didn't say. And then lastly is another female. And her short-term goals are exercising more, losing weight, saving money, eating a better diet, pursuing a career ambitions. Long-term goal, develop a vision for your life, establish a positive mindset, learn sound interpersonal skills, expand your network of friends, and find a perfect life partner. Her ultimate goal is the overall goal for your entire credit and collections process is to get paid faster. Based on your research, you should understand how long your customers are taking to pay you. You can now set a reasonable goal to get payment faster. So, between those 8 kids, the most important thing that they want out of life is money. We only heard one person say, find a good life partner. We heard another one talk about being prepared for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually got to talk to one of your students. And so we're just going to play this clip really quick for you guys and come back and wrap it on up. Guys, we have an actual student who partook in this assignment that we have been telling you about, and we're going to introduce her right now.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So, a little bit about this assignment. What went through your head when your teacher assigned this to you?
I was thinking about like what my goals are and like everything because I have a lot of goals, but I was thinking more so the goals that I don't focus on as much. Like I focus on graduating every day because that's like a bigger goal, I would say. So like a smaller goal for me that was like less and not important, but not as necessary was getting a car. So that's what I decided to, focus on for this project.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when I first got the assignment, it was, we normally do stuff like this, goal tracking and, to better our futures. And that's all I love doing, writing stuff down so it can like manifesting.
Yes, that is the
Yeah.
word, isn't it?
hmm And recently I've been getting more into manifestation and stuff. And I know writing stuff down and, planning it out more helps you with achieving the goal.
So Jamora, you're more about speaking things into reality, words having power, that kind of thing now.
Yes. But you always have to, it's not just you writing it down, you have to put action into it. And that's when I realized, because most people don't do that. They just want stuff to, come to them.
Yeah, they're lazy, and the Bible has 2 scriptures. One, faith without works is dead, and a lazy man shouldn't eat. So
I was in a different part of the Bible because I'm just so impressed with her. Out of the mouths of babes, because Jamora here actually has a YouTube channel, and when she talks about putting action into things, I want to just commend you, Jamora, because you are actually taking steps towards your goals, and I just want to hats off to you. You want to
Thank
tell anybody about your future endeavors and your plans?
you. Well, I'm currently a senior in high school. Next year, I plan to take a gap year and focus on my family small business. Me and my mom we make organic soaps and lotions. So
Oh,
I
nice.
um yeah, I do have my own YouTube channel, and I'll focus more on that in my gap year. And then after my gap year, I want to go to LaSalle for business and nursing. So
Okay, nice.
yeah,
Is there a name for the family business as of yet?
yes, it's called it's Jem's Life, like JEMZ.
Oh, okay.
You know
Jim's
I
Life.
love the Z's. I knew we had
Yeah,
connection.
my mom wanted to spell it differently because she just wants to be different. So
Yes, you have to
yeah,
be different in this world, okay?
you have to stand out.
Yes.
Mm, yeah.
So let me ask you this. What did you think about some of your classmates' answers?
Um, I would say I thought for some of them answers were like, I wouldn't say it was very different from a lot of people. Like it had to be very different because some people's goals I would say weren't like as realistic because you have to factor in other stuff. But then some people's goals were like really attainable, and I thought they were really good goals, like making the honor roll, the fourth marking period, ending the year strong, and like the steps that they had, they really thought through it, and some other people like didn't really think through it. They
Mhm.
just like I just didn't put enough effort, I think. But overall, I think we really did good as a class because we sat and talked about like all of our goals together and like some of our common interests and stuff.
Okay.
Did you feel like most of those responses, the students, the other people, your classmates, do you feel like they were really being candid based on their backgrounds, or were they embellishing some things in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, like now I go to a predominantly black school. I'm used to like in middle school I went to a predominantly white school, so for me it like changed over drastically, and people's like goals and stuff are way different that I see. Like instead of just wanting a regular car, they want, a BMW or stuff like that. And I think their goals are just like, yeah, they're just different.
Now, how much of this, Jamora, do you believe comes from TV, reality shows, rap music, these different kind of things? How much of it do you believe comes from that?
I would say with my generation, a lot. Like I would say me and my brother are completely opposite. Like he's very materialistic. I'm not really materialistic. I really couldn't care. But it's like it's so different from like going from one environment to another and seeing like all the everything that's like changing, cuz like I don't know, like people more or so were focused on school at my old school and were focused on their grades. And then at this one, they're more focused on stuff outside of school, like their family, their love lives and stuff like that. So like more people's goals didn't have to do with like school per se. It was more a lot of outside stuff.
Well, would you say that your former school compared to this one, because it seems that they're dramatically different, did
Yeah.
the first school seem like the kids were more privileged, and these kids are more maybe inner
Yeah,
city?
most definitely. I've been four different high schools, so I've seen a lot of different, settings and stuff. But my first high school, it was predominantly white, and they more so had money, so stuff came to them easier. And the school I go to now, um it's kind of it's I don't want to talk bad about it because I go there, but like it's a challenge going there every day because everybody's they're not focused on like school per se. They're focused on the media and stuff like that.
Yeah, being honest isn't bad. I mean, you're being honest,
Yeah.
and the only way to deal with situations and come up with solutions and healing is to be honest, and that's what you're being. So hopefully they
Yeah.
get a chance to hear this and understand where you're coming from your perspective.
Yeah.
Because as I always say to TheeEnicole, we don't see ourselves as others see us. You could look at
Yeah.
a person and spend time around them and assess how they are, but they won't see themselves that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, TheeEnicole, what do you think?
I think it's very interesting, and that's really why I wanted to do this, because I don't think that we pay enough attention to the younger people. I feel like a lot of older people, they talk about what they don't like that the younger kids are doing,
Hey,
but
hey,
they're
watch
not
your mouth
listening
now.
to them.
Watch your mouth now. I'm not old.
I just
Yeah,
think like so much has changed. Like so much is just it's just so different now, so it's hard to relate. It's like you can't see what the other people are going through, so you think like if you were in that situation, but you can't really think like that because you were never in that situation. It's like
exactly.
when I was always young, I used to hate when people said, "Oh, I was your age once." Yeah, you were my age, but you weren't in my situation. So it's like everybody thinks differently and acts differently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from with it, because I remember when I was young feeling the same exact way.
Mhm.
Everybody on the channel, you guys know I'm a preacher's kid, two preacher's grandkid. So when they would say it to me, I was your age once, but you have no clue what's going on in the streets
Yeah.
right now. You have no clue what's going on in these classrooms right now, because your classrooms didn't look like my classrooms.
Mhm.
And I feel like a lot of people forget that. Yes, you can give insight, but you can't give the accurate insight until you ask me exactly what I'm going through.
Mhm. Yeah, and I feel like with school, it's changed. Like since being back after, it's a like it's a challenge to learn because you have to relearn everything, and like you gotta relearn your peers, and it was so well for me. It was so hard going back to school. Like I went back. I
So how long were you out for C19? Because
for
you know we got to be careful about that word on YouTube, you know. But we say C19s, okay? So
okay.
they funny about that word, child. But how long were you out?
I was
Um,
out from my freshman year that my it would just hit third or yeah, it was March 13th, 2020 until my junior year. Until I want to say like yeah, my second market period in my junior year, that's when I started going back um to school, and it was only what did they call it? I would only go to school for 3 days and then be virtual for 2 days, and then it became a full, week again, but it was so hard adjusting back to like being in a classroom and not cuz when we were on the computer, I was completely zoned out. Like I did my work, but I never went to class.
I can feel your pain because, quite ironically, when C19 happened, I was in school. I was in
Mhm.
school for medical massage therapy. And you're completely right. You log in, you go to sleep.
It just
I was there, but I was asleep.
I felt so disconnected. Like I
Yes.
I personally I love learning and trying new things and stuff. So like I
Took
try.
the fun out of the experience.
Yeah, I try because it's like you can't really talk to your peers and like bounce ideas off of them because you're in a group and everyone's gonna hear you, or like talking to the teacher, you have to wait after class, but it's not just you waiting. It's like then y'all are all like in there at the same time. It was
It's
just
not
so
personal, you're saying.
yeah, and then you're in the comfort of your own home, so it's like why not while I'm on the computer do other stuff, and then you get distracted and you're not giving school your undivided attention.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean they see you from the waist up, so it's like why even wear pants?
Yeah, and
You know, people don't even like to wear pants.
yeah, and most of my classes at first we had to have our cameras on, but then after a while they told us that we didn't need to have our
I
cameras
was
on.
just gonna say that because I didn't even get dressed. I just came on in with my little
Yes.
avatar, just like today.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how it mostly was. Or the teachers, they would tell you, if you would turn your camera on for like the first 5 minutes of class, they would give you extra credit. So after
Yeah,
that 5 minutes,
yeah, Jamora, I think they may call it. You say you went to school 3 days and you were virtual 2 days, and do they
Mhm.
call that asynchronous? Because I
Oh,
know.
oh yeah, when you do the work at home, that's what they call it now. It was I forgot what they actually.
Yeah, because
Here
my daughter.
they just called it hybrid learning over here.
Oh yeah, that's hybrid. That's
Right,
the word.
okay. Yeah, because my daughter, I have a 12-year-old. She's still virtual right now, and
Mhm.
on Wednesdays there's no live instruction, but she has to log in
Yeah,
and do
when you have
work.
to do the work by yourself, that's asynchronous. Yeah, we still have days like that. Like when they have teacher meetings or days like that where the teachers are doing
Teacher
learning.
work days.
Yes, when they're doing
They
those.
get so many of those now. We had
Yes,
one of those like once a year when I was younger.
when all of February, the first like Monday, every single Monday in February, we did not have school. It was asynchronous.
And
And
Mm.
so with my daughter, because my daughter is 9, and so after C19, I kept her in virtual because I like it better. I like being there with her, hearing what's going on in her class, and I really like it better. So I haven't sent her back to school.
I mean,
Well, in person.
yeah, I mean, that's like you're there helping your child, but with like for me, my mom, she's a CNA, so she was at work. So I was like helping out my stepsister with her assignments and stuff. And that was also a stress on me because they were both my my mom's ex-fiance, he was a CNA too. So they were both at work during COVID and we were really scared. But I was the one helping out in the house and stuff. So it was that was kind of stressful too. But then like I feel like more kids, like my friends and stuff who had more siblings than I did, and I felt sorry for them because I know one of my friends, they have like 3 younger siblings. They're the oldest, and they had to help all of them with the online school and stuff like that.
Hey,
So let me
Jamara,
ask you. Oh, sorry.
hold on, Nicole. Jamara, I want to talk to you real quick about the social skills.
Mhm.
Were you an outgoing person before C19, and do you feel like your social skills really suffered? And also, do you feel like your classmates that you've known before C19, do you feel like their social skills really suffered?
Yes, I gained anxiety after COVID. Like I was scared when I went back outside. I was scared to like go places by myself, and I was just so like I was so nervous for everything, every little thing. I was nervous, so like I had to slowly put myself back out there and stuff. And I feel the same way with my friends. Like it was just so weird getting back into the real world after being in the comfort of your home and your own environment for so long. Like
Mm.
it was really a challenge. Like I used to be scared to, go to the corner store. I mean, I had to, gain the courage back up like I was again, but
Well,
yeah.
Jamora, we're gonna have to make a concerted effort to really talk to one another as human beings because, in case you haven't noticed, they're building robots for everything
Yes.
that's probably going to be taking our place in the near future. So human beings have to still figure out a way to interact. And when
Mhm.
C19 hit, everybody was just cooped up together, just basically coming out for groceries or having them delivered.
Mhm.
That's when Instacart and everything else just blew up, because nobody could come out. But the communication amongst one another right now is horrible, and it's to me is directly coming from the C19.
Yeah.
You know,
So I'm so thankful for Jamora for coming by. I thought she was a breath of fresh air. Like,
That's my baby.
so before we get out of here, like, just seeing what she had to say, opposed to in comparison to, like, we don't want to compare the kids, but just
Right.
the contrast of answers. Do you think before C19 and then the answers that you got now are so drastically different from each other?
Absolutely. C19 has drastically changed their mindset, how they think, how they operate, and how they move. To me personally, I feel like a lot of the kids became more less enthused, motivated to do stuff because of the simple fact they were stuck in the house for almost like over a year. Almost for some, it could have been 2 years. And the simple fact being behind a camera wasn't motivational enough because they were at home in their bed and everything. So, some of their goals and aspirations had went down the drain, had went down the toilet. Excuse me. So now trying to pursue those dreams, it's like for them, for some of them, I should say, it's even harder, like she stated. You know what I mean? But again, like she stated, she has been to 4 different high schools. And so with her, it's a little different because it's a different reality for her, being that she was in different high schools versus some of these kids. They only been in Chester. That's all they seen is Chester, and they stuck in this box, and they feel like they're gonna be stuck in this box forever. And I'm
Yeah.
sure, like many other urban kids, like Detroit, Chicago, Columbia, wherever, unfortunately, a lot of these kids feel like they stuck in their city and they don't know have any other outlets or any other options to go any elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you for letting us share the kids for tonight
Yes, and thank you
and
for
get some of
having
your
me.
insight, because that's what old school versus new school is really about. It's just, you know, how can we fully get over these hurdles if we're not listening to each other? And we all have different
Absolutely.
views and different feelings and different experiences, like, and if the younger ones don't respect the older ones, they can't learn. But if the older ones don't respect the younger ones, you're not they're not going to be open to hearing from you and learning from you. So I feel like it's a circle of communication that we need to mend, like, immediately, because the
So
world is changing.
absolutely.
Even with you talking about financial literacy and these banks and stuff like that, these are not going to exist anymore really
Hmm.
soon. So, like, if we don't communicate with each other, like, it's going to get ugly out here. Not that it ain't
Absolutely.
already ugly.
Absolutely. I totally agree. All you can do is just, keep on teaching, keep on praying, and just hope for a change.
Yeah. So thank everybody for coming through for this episode. If you missed it, make sure you hit that playback. For
Yeah.
if you have any students or any kids, Jamora has a YouTube channel. I did put it in the description, so go over there and support. Y'all know we big on support, and I feel like the younger kids need other kids their age that are doing something positive that they can look at and see, to be motivated and inspired. So Chastity, I just want to thank you again for coming and be a special guest. And
Yes.
we
Thank
will,
you for having me.
yes, and we will be here same time, same place next week, y'all. So peace out.